Good morning, boys and girls. Hi, I see you. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, today is Fido Day 14. It is Thursday, April 2nd. Today we're going to use what we did yesterday. Remember, we did these ones yesterday where we wrote mixed numbers back into improper fractions where the numerator was greater than the denominator. Okay, we did that yesterday. And the reason that we did that is because today we're going to see a situation where we have to use these instead of using the mixed number, where we have to use the improper fraction because the mixed number is going to make it too difficult for us to subtract. And you're going to see what I mean in just a moment. So today it is day 14. Our objective is to subtract mixed numbers. And we're going to subtract, you'll see what kind of mixed numbers we're going to be subtracting and why we're going to turn them into improper fractions in just a minute. The book pages we're going to do together, you and I, are pages 690 and 691. So you're going to need to get to there. And you do need your gold packet. So if you want to pause the video, you can do that to make sure you have your items that you need. Okay, so we're going to do page 690, 691 together. And then you're going to complete page 693 and email the picture of it to me at amanda.steve@westernbeaver.org. You guys should be professionals by now at that step 2 there where you're emailing me a picture, you or your parents, right? There are some other instructional videos if you go to the link that is called days 11 through 15 directions on my website under days 11 through 15, Fido days 11 through 15, 5th grade. These links are actually active, so you would just be able to click on them. This one again is Mr. J, and I think no, this one's Mr. J on the bottom. This one is another person that does this type of subtracting mixed numbers the same way that I do. Okay? So, here's the question of the day. If you're looking at your gold packet, chapter 9, lesson 13. What if I can't subtract the fractions in a mixed number? And take a look at this example. 2 1/3 take away 1 2/3. So we still have our larger amount here. If you have 2 1/3 cookies, that's more than 1 2/3 cookies. So we still have more taking away less. So we can do this subtraction. But when we pull out the fraction there, 1/3 minus 2/3, I cannot subtract my fraction parts. I cannot subtract 2/3 from 1/3. It would be negative. And as I had told you guys, we weren't going to work with negative numbers this year in math. So what can we do? Right here is my way that we can subtract these amounts even though the fraction, the first fraction, is smaller than the second fraction. Because the whole amount is not smaller than this whole amount. So we can still do the subtraction. We just have to set up our subtraction problem differently than the way that it's set up right here. And how are we going to set it up different? We are going to take these mixed numbers and we're going to change them into improper fractions, which is what we did yesterday. We're going to do the denominator times the whole number. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the numerator plus 1, 7, and keep the denominator the same. So instead of writing this first amount as 2 1/3, we're going to write it in its improper form, which is 7/3. We're going to do the same thing with our second amount from our subtraction problem. We're going to write 1 2/3 as an improper fraction of 5/3. Everybody okay with that? So we're doing the same exact thing that we did yesterday, where we're rewriting a mixed number into an improper fraction. Today we have a reason why we have to do that, because the fraction amount in our bigger mixed number is too small to subtract the fraction amount from our smaller mixed number there. So now we're going to subtract. We're going to subtract because these are like fractions. 3 is on the bottom of both of these. So we're going to subtract the numerators, which the numerators are 7 minus 5 to get 2. And we're going to keep our denominator the same to get 2/3. So your difference in this one is 2/3, which is in simplest form. It's not improper. It's perfectly done the way that it is. Down here at the bottom of this page, though, if your difference is still an improper fraction, you can change it back to a mixed number. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see some examples when we're going through pages 690 and 691. But for this one, we get 2/3 and we're doing great. Okay. Now we're going to take a look in our books at page 690. 690 looks like this. It says example 2 at the top. We are not going to look at example 1. We are only looking at example 2. Everybody good there? And on example 2, you're going to see, the first thing you're going to see is that the mixed number is 4 1/4 minus 2 5/6. This is really blurry for some reason. I don't know why. Let's see if we can get this a little more stable. There we go. All right, so 4 1/4 take away 2 5/8. The first thing they do right here is they make 1/4 have a denominator of 8. So they rewrite this 1/4 as 2/8. They multiplied the bottom by 2 and they multiplied the top by 2. So it's 4 2/8 minus 2 5/8. Look at just the fraction amount here, boys and girls. We'll write them right over here. 2/8 minus 5/8. We cannot subtract 5/8 from 2/8. So we're going to go back up to our 4 2/8. Right over here, we're going to do 8 times 4 is 32, plus 2 more is 34/8. We're going to rewrite 4 2/8 as a improper fraction there. We're going to rewrite them. So take a look at that. Now, 2 5/8, we're going to rewrite it as an improper fraction also. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 5 is 21/8. So we've got 34/8 minus 21/8. We are subtracting 4 2/8 minus 2 5/8. We just rewrote both of those mixed numbers as improper fractions. Still the same amount, just written differently. Just like how you guys call me Mrs. Steve, but Mr. Steve calls me Amanda and Ryan calls me Mommy. I'm still the same person. I just am being called different by different names. These are still the same two amounts. They're just being called a different name. Like fractions, 8 on the denominators. Let's subtract our numerators. 34 minus 21 is 13. Keep my denominator 8. I notice this is improper, and if you look back at our notes, if the difference is improper, is an improper fraction, change it to a mixed number. So now we're going to take this mixed number, which is is our answer, and we're going to set it up with a division